good Thursday to you, and welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. It's the fall meeting of champions featuring American quarter horses, and tonight we bookend the card with Arabian races. We've been running the Arabians last in the program in this early part of the meet, and that's happening today, but we have a bonus allowance Arabian race at the beginning of the card, too, where we historically have run a lot of those. So we'll bookend the card with Arabians. We'll have paints and apps and quarter horses in between. With Rodney Nelson, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful fall evening. Track is fast. Rodney, let's get right into it. First race, scratch number 6, Rich Sand. Race 1, good wide open race. I mean, the favorite is 2-1. We've all taken high stakes, but I don't think she's any kind of a lock in here. There's a number of horses who are kind of short on the morning line. These are non-winners of 2, Texas-bred Arabians. I don't recall too many Texas-bred Arabian races in the past because we used to get a lot of those horses from Delaware that were bred in Florida like the Rosebrook Farms. But we've all ended up on the 5, and yet I don't think she's necessarily a cinch in here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this horse is a cinch by any means. But you know what? Last time out, I mean, this horse ran fourth, beaten by 20. That was a tough race. RB Burned the Bill, the winner of that one, set a track record that day. The horse that was right behind the winner, RB Badonkadonk, was 13 3/4 in front of the third-place horse. So the first two were way out there. High stakes, like I said, finished fourth in that one. But if you look at the body of work before that, you see a couple third-place finishes, a second missing by half a length, and then a win back at Sam Houston. So the horse knows how to be up there toward the front at the finish line and can compete with a lot of the other Arabians here in this region. So high stakes, I'll give my nod to this one to win the first. RS Fortiza, number 1, that's going to be my second choice. I mean, this horse is coming in here fresh off a win. I love horses that come in here off a win, especially after running against some of the other ones in this race. So I'll go ahead and take this horse for second. And then I got the 4 WMA Magic Slippers as my third choice. If you overlook that last race where this horse was in against RB Fortiza, you see 3 consecutive third-place finishes in a row. So WMA Magic Slippers, I think this horse can get up and hit the board, but where at, we'll see.
Ali Rivera is not riding tonight, so Noe Villatoro is riding for him on number 1 here in this first race, and we will have the changes for you in a little bit. There's a few rider changes replacing Rivera. We're on the same top 2. I threw in the 8 high class as a third pick. Last time out made a really big move about 3/8 into the race and then kind of hit a wall. Maybe with a little smoother trip, she can tuck in or at least sit just off of it perhaps and have a little bit better move today. So I threw her in for third. On to race number 2. These are 2-year-old maidens going 330. Cholula Sinn Féin. I believe this is probably named after the Irish political party Sinn Féin. I don't know that for sure. But Cholula Sinn Féin should be a heavy favorite now because the 3, Zenifico, was going to be the main competition, and he scratched. So scratched the 3 and scratched the 9, and now I think Cholula should be a pretty short.
Yeah, I've got Cholula Sinn Féin as my top choice. I mean, one of the big reasons is look at the trainer, Angel Sanchez. He's been having a heck of a meet so far, winning a bunch of races. And then this horse is pretty good as well. I mean, last time out in the stakes race was a second-place finisher. You see this horse, the 3 times this horse was in maiden races, 2 of those 3 that got up and hit the board, ran well in a futurity trial. I'll take Cholula Sinn Féin here as my top choice. Number 5, Devon's Livewire is going to be my second choice. This horse comes out of that same stakes race as Cholula Sinn Féin. Beaten by 2 1/4 in that one. But, wasn't that far behind my top choice here in this race. So, I mean, I think Devon's Livewire can definitely compete. And then I got number 4, Hawk Tua, as my third choice. Last time out, the horse was well beaten, finished last in that race, but a close-up second the race before that, just missing by a head for Hawk Tua. Had another second-place finish, in a maiden race back at Sam Houston in May. I think his horse could run well. 2, 5, and 4 here in race number 2.
You know, the thing about Cholula Sinn Fein, the 2-horse, is she's competed really well against quarter horses, dual registered. This is a Paint Napa-Lusa race, but her first 4 career starts were against just straight quarter horses. And like you mentioned, she had a second and a third and a fourth in a trial at Retama, and then was in that maiden stakes race here on opening night and ran a decent second. I think Cholito's Wagon was a really nice winner that night. So I think she's a clear-cut favorite in here. I have Hawk 2 a second over Devon's Livewire, but either way, there could be a battle for second in this one. But, you know, favorites did well the other night. I think half the 12 races on Saturday were won by the post-time favorite, but that only brought our average to 33.3% of winning favorites this meet. So, and that might be a season high. So it's been a little hard to isolate some of these favorites this meet. On to the third. Scratch the 2 also eligibles, the 11 and 12 out of race 3. These are 2-year-old non-winners of 2 lifetimes, so they have maiden wins. $10,000 the price tag, and they'll go 300 yards.
Yeah, let's take a look at number 8, Eagerly Philly. You know, last time out, this horse was a non-winners of 2 race for this $10,000 tag. Was within a length of the winner when it was all said and done, missed by 3/4 of a length as the betting favorite. The race before that, I mean, this horse broke its maiden by 3/4 of a length. So those last 2 races for the horse, not bad at all. Although one was in July, one was in August, so it's been a little bit of time since then. But I think Eagerly Philly, the way that she had been running earlier this year, she should be able to do the same thing once again. And then I've got number 10, Kiss My Socks, as my second choice here. 12 to 1 of the morning line for Kiss My Socks. This horse was a winner last time out. They came back on the 15th of August at Retama Park. You see this horse was in a couple futurity trials before that. Second, another maiden race down at Sam Houston. I think this horse could have a nice run from the outside. And then I got number 2, Crown This PYC, as my third choice. You know, this horse gets the Lasix tonight, was a third-place finisher last time out, non-winners of 2 race for this $10,000 tag. Won the race before that to break the maiden at this 300-yard distance. Won that race by a length of a quarter, so a pretty decent margin of victory there. Crown This PYC, my third choice here in the third.
There's some interesting ones in here behind Eagerly Philly, who I think will be a pretty heavy favorite because she seems to have edges in a lot of different categories. I think that the 6 Lights Out Marfa is worth looking at. I mentioned Mary Mesa the other day. She has won a lot of races in Oklahoma over the last few years. She claimed this horse back in April at Remington, ran him a couple of times more up in Oklahoma, made the Fairmeadows Juvenile. I think Lights Out Marfa is worth a look here. Also, Apolitica Check, the 9. Last time out, in a TQHA futurity trial, just horrendous trip. I mean, staggered out of the gate, broke inward, and then drifted way out. You can see it says lost action. I mean, he almost basically stopped out of there. He does have a recent work, Apolitica Check. We'll be announcing that. It was a work on September 20th here at Lone Star. 1 good race for that horse, and 2, really terrible last place finishes, but I think he could run better here today. So, and there's a few interesting ones underneath the favorite in there. Let's move to the 4th. By the way, that third race, wait a minute, let's go back. Let's go back to the second race. Because Arabians bookend the card, the second race begins the pick 6 tonight, so take note of that. 4th race, let's get back to that. 4th race begins the pick 4. 1 scratch here, number 6, Lights of Marfa. And in this one, boy, I mean, AJ's Flashing the Chicks is a really, really nice horse. He's been keeping good company. So is the 9, All About Me. Pretty clear-cut top 2 here, but this should be a good battle, at least between those 2.
Yeah, I'm taking 3 of the horses on the outside, 8, 9, and 10, just like that. But the 8, AJ's flashing the Chicks. I mean, this horse was in the All-American Derby last time out. Has a lot of experience, 12 races, still has yet to pick up that win, but, you know, this horse has been in a lot of tough races. You know, was in all three of the Derby trials out in New Mexico. This horse was in the Oklahoma Derby this year, just missing by a length in that race. I'm surprised to see this horse come here to maiden. I thought we would have seen it maybe for Dash for Cash trials.
Yeah.
But maybe this is a tune-up for Texas Classic trials for AJ Flash and the Chicks. I mean, after the All-American Derby and the Oklahoma Derby this year, why not? But I think this horse definitely could run well. All About Me, number 9. That's my second choice here. You know, this horse came close last time out, missed by a length in that race. You see this horse has been running out west. He got some Los Al starts. Riadosa starts, has one at Remington Park thrown in there in the mix. I would think this horse has been competing and get some better than that are in this race. I mean, this horse does have some respectable finishes, so I'll take the horse second. I got number 10, She's Team Wild, as my third choice. The last two races were both at Remington Park, you know, the most recent one coming at the end of May, but She's Team Wild was right up there for the whole race. I mean, missed by a head and a neck in those two races. We'll see if she's back and ready to go again tonight.
As far as AJ's Flash and the Chicks goes, he's been in some really tough races. The Dam, Flashing My PJs, only ran 4 times. Won 2 of those, made $135,000, and her mother, this horse's grandmother, or second dam, was PJ Chicken Black, who was an AQHA champion about 15, 16 years ago. $360,000 yearling was AJ's Flash and the Chicks that they've given every chance to participate in futurities and derbies. Hasn't quite lived up to that, although you mentioned that good fourth in the Oklahoma Derby. All About Me, you couldn't get better breeding than this horse. He was a $440,000 Riadoso yearling purchase 2 years ago. Same sale that AJ's Flash and the Chicks came out of. So they were like 2 high first-round picks 2 years ago out of the same sale. Now trying to break their maidens, but they've both been in really good competition. Michael Joyner trains the 9. Trey Wood trains the 8. 2 excellent barns. All About Me has had some traffic trouble that has bothered him, and for that matter, so has the 8. But, you know, getting a chance to take on Maiden Company today, even though this isn't a gimme field, but you get much past them, and the contention starts to get, you know, a little bit slimmer. And, you know, you look down on
you
that
You got to start looking for a horse there.
Exactly. You get that AJ's Flash and the Chicks, you see races against horses like Cowboys Gun Z and DK Marnie Jess and horses like that. On to the 5th. Scratch the also eligibles out of race 5. These are 2-year-old maiden fillies going 400. I'm picking the favorite in here, as we all are, but I'm going to talk about a couple of long shots when it's my turn, because I think there's a couple of fillies to watch in this one, other than the obvious favorite who we're all picking.
Yeah, we've all got the 10, Chili Pequeen on the outside. You know, came close last time out in the trial for the Dash for Cash Futurity. Finished in second in that one, missing about 3/4 of a length. I mean, if you look back, I mean, this horse came close to breaking its maiden at Retama at the beginning of August. Had a good race at Sam Houston in the Futurity trial down there. Chili Pequeen coming from the outside. It seems like the outside horses have been zooming. Like the last week or so, especially last weekend when we saw horses win by like a length and a half, length and 3/4. It seemed like they were always coming from the 10 spot. So that's just one of those anecdotal things that you see. But Chili Pequeen, I mean, I think this horse is the one to beat here in race 5. I got number 3. She's a Whirly Way 2 as my second choice here. Back-to-back runner-up spots for this filly. Gets the Lasix tonight. You know, that one last time out, only missed by half a length in that one. That was at 330 yards. I think moving out, adding the extra yardage on tonight, we'll see this horse have a pretty good performance. And then I got the 2, Giocosa as my second choice or third choice. You know, three of this filly's races haven't been bad out of the 5 starts. Has a couple seconds in a third from those 5 starts. I got 2 pick third, 10, 3, and 2 here in race 5.
Yeah, I thought Giocosa's race here the second night of the meet was excellent. I went back and rewatched it. She was 23-1. Really ran a strong race. I thought she was game all the way, and so I used her second. Number 1, APB Chick, my third pick. Tried a All-American trial for her debut in August. That's a tough spot for a debut. She was 84-1, and a horse came right out into her face at the start, bumped her, and then she bore out. But when they get behind the line and start getting dirt and sand in their face, quarter horses will usually freak out a bit at that, and that's what she did. Saul Ramirez trained her that day. Edith Mojica, who's 15%, first time she sends a horse out in her care, picks up the training now. Watch the tote on the 1. She could pick up some interest. She might be decent. And then the 6, MM Lady. One change on the 6. She's going to be on Lasix today. You could call it first-time Lasix, but she's a first-time starter. Her dam, Max Lady M, ran here about 5 years ago. She was super. She was multiple graded stakes placed against male runners. I picked Max Lady M, I don't know how many times. She would always cost herself with something at the start. She'd hesitate or get out bad, but she could fly. And MM Lady is out of her. First-time starter. Some of the works down at Frontera, which is down by Sunland Park, right on the border, are decent enough. So I'm going to watch MM Lady, number 6, as well. I think behind Chili Pekin, who's an obvious favorite. One thing I'll say about the favorite, she's had some chances where she was very short-priced and didn't come through.
Yeah, didn't get it done.
But they were generally good races. So there's really nothing to falter on. But I'd look at some of these other ones we have underneath her, and just if you're wanting to play around a little and look for a price. On to the 6th. 330 yards. Texas breds, non-winners of 2, not eligible to be claimed. Scratch the 4. That was my original top pick. Chicotin 94 is out. Scratch the 4 and scratch the 2 also.
So give me number 7, Texas Pharaoh. This horse is bound to be the favorite here in this race. Now, Texas Pharaoh, this horse was in the TQHA Sales Juvenile last time out. Missed by a neck in that one. Was real close. The horse that finished third was a next out winner as well. The trial for that race, this horse was the winner of that one. So the horse was moving fairly well back-to-back races. This horse also was in the West Texas Futurity earlier this year, running 4th in that one. 2 next out finishers in the top 3 there. Texas Pharaoh, I think this is a good spot for this horse to come in and win this race. Number 2, Duke. That's going to be my second choice. 20-1 morning line for Duke. This horse got its maiden breaking win last time out. That came at 330 yards. We're going, 330 in this one today, so or 350 to 330, so not much of a change there. Duke was the winner, like I said, last time out. The 2 races before that, both runner-up finishes by 3/4 of a length. I think Duke definitely is moving in the right direction. And then I got the 5-horse El Rey Juanito as my third choice here. Was close up last time out, missed by 3/4 of a length. Won at first asking at Delta Downs back in April. Had 1 race in between. That was a non-winners of 2 allowance race. Finished 4 of 10 in that one, but had a bad start.
Yeah.
I think you can excuse that, but I wouldn't overlook El Rey Juanito here.
Oh, I agree. I've got him second. I'm going to go with the 1, Tunda Mighty Bug as a 4th pick in here just to wrap up the just coming off a win in August. But Texas Pharaoh, I was going to try to beat him. He has, really nice credentials off his last 2. El Rey Juanito did have a work 2 days ago at Evangeline. I'll be announcing that. It wasn't a fast work, but he had it. And then I Be Relentless is my 3rd pick. Trey Wood comes off a nice performance against Texas-bred fillies last time out, and that E-Speed figure of 67 holds up pretty well with everybody in here except Texas Pharaoh. When I see the name Duke, I think Duke basketball, and I think Grant Hill and Christian Leitner are the 2 names. I know they produced a lot of players since that era, but the modern guys, what's his name? From here played at Duke, right? The goofy guy.
Oh, Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg.
Huh?
Cooper Flagg.
Well, yeah, but no, the goofy one that thinks the earth is flat. Great player. Anyway, I think he played at Duke briefly. I'm blanking on the name, but Kyrie Irving. Didn't he play at Duke?
I have no idea.
I believe he spent a year at Duke.
When I think of Duke, I think of John Wayne.
Well, yeah.
But we had a trial. We had I think it was a Futurity horse or Derby horse, the Duke. Remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
I think it was THA.
Yeah, the DHA Duke.
Yeah.
But he was good. When I saw Duke here, I was like, wait a second, is that the same horse? But no, doesn't have the on it.
I think of Christian Leitner when I think of Duke, but that's a long time back. That's before your era.
No, it's not before my era. I remember that.
Well, that's right. Not before your era. It's before, like, Gen Zer's era. Because that was 92, I think, when he did his mid-court heave. On to the 7th. We need one good tangent a day just to make sure people are listening out there. The TPHBA Juvenile paints and apps, 330 yards. This is an interesting budding rivalry between the 1 and the 5. They met 5 times head-to-head. They're 2-year-olds, so this year. And they've each won 2. And in the race where they neither of them won, the one, Mrs. PYC Painted Nova, finished ahead of Jackson Davis 747, and yet you and I are both going with Jackson Davis. I think he's coming off a better race. So
yeah, I mean, Jackson Davis 747, this is a horse I've been waiting to see out here. It seems like every week we're talking about horses that had to run up against him, and Jackson Davis 747 was a winner all the time.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we saw, VP Dash for Texas win. I do not recall, had a good second in the allowance race. Chill was a winner. So, I mean, Miss Nelly was a winner, at least on the board finisher last week, I want to say. Fairly recent anyway. But, yeah, Jackson Davis 747, I'm ready to see this horse run out here. Was the winner last time out. That was the colors of the Alamo Futurity. So nice to see this horse win that one. Had a good trial race to get into that. Was a stakes winner before that. Jackson Davis 747 has won 3 out of 6 starts. A lot to like about the 5. I got the 2 Sinning Hot Pepper as my second choice here. Last time out, this horse was in that same colors of the Alamo. Finished 6th in that one, but the 2 races before that, back-to-back wins. Then number 1, Mrs. PYC Painted Nova, my third choice here. This horse, if you look, definitely up there, can be up there and compete with the rest of them. 5-2-1 here in this TPHBA Juvenile tonight.
Yeah, I'm going 5-1-2. Calderon, by the way, Francisco Calderon will ride the 1 in place of Ali Rivera. Mrs. PYC Painted Nova, I mean, earlier in the year, she did beat Jackson Davis 747 twice. It just seemed like her last race wasn't all that hot, and she hasn't worked since. One horse to keep an eye on, I only used him 4th, is WL Post Malone. He's Rick's long shot pick of the day, and he has competed with this bunch at times well this year. Isn't the most consistent. But we could play some Post Malone, but it would have to definitely be a cleaned-up version. Because the tunes he has done that I have heard the explicit versions of are pretty explicit.
Pretty explicit, huh?
On to the 8th. 8th and final. Arabians, these are maiden claimers, 3 and up, going 3/4 of a mile. Scratch the 9, RS King Basic. This is my only horse where I'm really veering away from the favorite. So, we're both veering away from the favorite. I was going to say, I probably am going to take a plunge. But Ernesto Torres, Arabians, lightly raced Arabians seem to get better for him, so we're on the 3.
Yeah, and Easter Dude AA, I mean, this horse had a good, decent improvement from start 1 to start 2. Was a runner-up last time out to a next out winner. We'll see if this horse can't get out there and just win it today. Easter Dude AA. Number 10, AA Hot Assets. That's going to be my second choice here. Was a second-place runner last time out. 3 starts back, also a second-place finisher, missing just by a head in that one. And then I got the horse on the inside, WMA Getaway, as my third choice. Hopefully this horse can get away from that inside spot and hopefully maybe get out there to a lead. It seems like, look way back, the few times that this horse has actually been on the lead has run all right.
Yeah.
Times it gets shuffled back, well, the horse gets shuffled back. So we'll see what happens. I got a 3-10-1 here in the nightcap.
And I would think WMA Getaway would hustle away from there, being inside. And the fact that earlier in the year he did show quite a bit of speed away from there. Now, Nicole Ruggieri, who's won a couple of Arabian races already, and we haven't run that many this meet, she has both the 8 and the 10, and both have a pretty good amount of speed. So they may have to ship out of there, get into position from the outside. And the 4 has a little bit of early foot as well. It's one of the reasons I thought maybe the 3 Easter Dude AA may get a decent trip. He may have to just sit in behind him and wait and angle out or whatever. But that Farfalli's FR, I forget the name of the horse that won that last race by 31 3/4. He pulled a Secretariat on the field July 17th at Retama. That horse came back and won the Firecracker Sprint in the next start by open daylight, and then ran third in the Texas Arabian Derby. So that Farfalli's horse is pretty good. And, I mean, obviously he was in a race by himself. I went and watched that race, and, I mean, it took a long time for the runner-up, who was this horse, to get in the camera shot at the end. You just don't see, I mean, I haven't seen a 31-length winner since 1973, Secretariat. But, yeah, well, we're both going with Easter Dude. We'll see how the wagering goes on that to see if, you know, people are interested in him early on. So, there you go. Burning Hess, the morning line favorite, you know, has been okay. Got disqualified from his lone win, so he's still eligible for a maiden race. He just seems to have kind of gone the wrong way since that. So we'll see. I guess that'll do it. Boy, it's a beautiful night. We got winds coming a bit northerly, at least here in the paddock, which usually is a very fair weather wind, and I can see the planes are landing going that way, which is another good sign. Usually means good fair weather and a little bit cooler temperatures. So enjoy your evening.
Can't get much worse than it was, 2 weeks ago? It was hot out here.
It was hot.
But
I was drained by the time I went upstairs.
It's going to be a nice weekend. I mean, I think the weather's supposed to be like this for like the next 2 weeks. Got Dollar Day coming up on Saturday. Dollar hot dogs, dollar beer, dollar admission popcorn, so on and so forth. That's Saturday. So, hey, take your time, have fun tonight, take tomorrow to recover, and then come back out and see us again Saturday.
Should be really nice all weekend. All right, thanks a lot. You'll see Rodney in the paddock. We'll have the anthem and the changes for you shortly. Thanks for looking in and being with us here tonight. In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all public locations in the Lone Star Park Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of Lone Star Park employees and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Suite levels 5 and 6 have 3 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building and 1 next to the elevators. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Silks Dining has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that are accessible through either the Jockey Club or Paddock Lounge, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, escalators, and buffet. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Level 2 has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 on either far end of the building that are accessible through the Alishiba room and in front of the far west side bathrooms, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, mustards, and feed sack. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. The track level has 2 main exits on either side of the grandstand that patrons should use to exit the building. Near the west and east escalators, follow signage and exit the building. Remember to always exit towards the paddock and never towards the track. If severe weather occurs and shelter in place is issued, all patrons will take shelter on the basement level. The grandstand has 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that extend to all floors. Calmly head towards whichever end of the building is closest to you. Look for an exit sign and walk down the stairs following all signage and security staff instructions to shelter in the basement level.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Sitting and watching